What's up guys, this is Chris here, and today we're going to be shooting a brand new gun. Today I have in my hands one of the cooler guns of 2023. Today we're going to be shooting the M&P 5.7. Now 5.7 is a caliber that's been making leaps and bounds in the popularity over the last few years, and I think there's a lot of reasons for that. Number one, the cost is finally going down. Number two, you get a lot of capacity and low recoil with the gun and the caliber. And number three, it's also very accurate. It's just easy to shoot quick, and it's just a fun overall caliber that's still pretty effective. So Smith & Wesson jumped on the game, and now we have the M&P 5.7. This is gonna be a release video for Smith & Wesson. They did send me this to release, however, it will not change my opinion of the gun, and we are gonna be doing a full review of this gun for you guys in the future. However, this is just gonna be a first shots where we shoot a couple hundred rounds through it and see if we like it or not. Now, the features of the gun are actually pretty interesting, and I think it compares very well to the competitors that are currently out. The main competitors that we have in the industry for this gun right now are obviously gonna be the Ruger 5.7, which compares head to head not only in price but in features. And then we have the FN 5.7 Mark III, which looks cool but is literally double the cost of these guns. The MSRP on this gun I think is gonna be around $699, and that is very comparable with the Ruger, which comes in between $650 and $700, $750 anyway. So it's gonna be almost the exact same price, which is very cool. With the M&P, you get a very slimline design, and that's the first thing I noticed when I pulled it out of the box, was just how unbelievably thin it was. A lot of guns are going to that, the Hellcat Pro, the P365 XL, the Macro, and you're getting a lot of these full-size guns with a very thin overall profile, because that is one of the dimensions that bothers you so much when you carry. That's kind of cool, because not only is the gun very thin, it's very light as well at only 26 ounces. So it's the same weight as a Glock 19, but you're packing a 5-inch barrel with 22 plus 1. That's very cool. So you get a lot more capacity, you get a longer barrel, you get an arguably more accurate and lower recoil platform, and you get it for about the same weight and definitely thinner than a Glock 19. Now, the barrel length is obviously going to be longer. It is a 5-inch barrel, plus you got the thread. And then we have some cool slide cuts on the top to lighten the weight. We got a Picatinny rail. We have the M&P flat face trigger in it, which is absolutely excellent in this. This is even better than the one that I had in my metal frame. One of the things I've noticed about these guns is because this happens to be an internal hammer-fired gun, so it doesn't have the mushiness of like a striker-fired trigger, which I like a lot. I'm seeing a lot more of the internal hammer-fired guns over the past few years, which I'm pretty impressed with. Now, another interesting feature about this gun, and I'm very interested to try out the recoil, is that it's gas-operated, which is pretty cool as well. That makes me very interested to shoot it to see if the recoil impulse is going to be better or worse than the traditional like Browning lockup and stuff like that. I like the slide cuts. I like the texturing on top. I like that it comes with the steel 3-dot sights from a standard Smith. I like that it's got good texture. And now the grip is going to be fat and thin. So it's going to be like wide here because of the round that it uses is the FN 5.7, which is kind of a little miniature rifle round in and of itself. So it's going to be a little bit longer case-wise than a 9, but you're going to get a thinner overall platform, so you can take that or leave that. I like the trigger undercut. I like the slide serrations. I like that Smith is doing these now instead of the fish scale. I just think they're more functional and they work better. Now, we do have an Armor Knight finish on this, so I expect it to be very durable. And then coming right out of the box with no plates, but a direct mount, Holosun 507K mount, or whatever mount. I think it's the Shield RMS mount is what people have been going with, the micro dots. And I think they went with the micro dot mount on this just because it's so freaking thin. If you were to put an RMR on it, would stick out over the side, and it would kind of eliminate the usefulness of it being very thin. So I actually do agree with this mounting system. And the Holosun series and several other optics that come in this class now are very good and very durable. The EMS carry, I think, is the same pattern as well, or EPS carry. So I think that's a good way to go. I think direct mount out of the factory saves you plate money, and it also can get the optic lower, so you can co-witness with your standard iron sights. With this optic on there right now, I can co-witness with the iron sights that came with the gun. That's pretty cool. It eliminates having to get new sights, saves you $100. Now, before we shoot this gun, I do want to thank my Patreon supporters. Thank you guys very much. You guys paid for the ammo for this video, so I appreciate that. If you want to support the channel, that's the best way to do it. Just go down to the link in the description and sign up. We try to give you the most honest advice possible, so we thank you. If you're not interested in Patreon, feel free to send us a super thanks. And while you're in that description, please check out the link to a local shelter in Ames, Iowa. It's the YSS. Those kids could really use your help, especially in the winter season in Iowa. It gets cold out here, so we'd really appreciate it if you would go down and just click the link and donate to those kids. The last thing I want want you to do is go over to the Gundies and go to the link in the description below and vote for me for best gun reviewer. I would really appreciate that. We actually won last year. I really felt the love. Thanks for all you guys going out and voting for me, and I would really appreciate it if you have time this year, go down and click that link and vote. I expected so much more recoil than that. There is no recoil, like none. Like the gas operated 5.7, there's literally nothing. Well, we're certainly far, far to the left. My little two little holes there.
Oh, okay.
Tight groups, good trigger, low recoil. I will take this. This thing's easy to like. I'm only needing to do 2-round groups because they're stacking right on top of each other.
Nice.
That's pretty impressive. I mean, I thought I was going to shoot like shit, so.
We getting her dialed in?
Yeah. I think I went a little too far right. You can see, like, try not to think of them in groups of like how close they are, but like look at the groups at 7 yards I'm putting down with these. And then look at these right here. I mean, that's a fucking stack on stack on stack right there. I'm very happy with this so far. This is the lightest recoiling full-size gun I've ever shot. It's lighter than the Alien. It's lighter than any of my 2011s. It's light. It's like nothing. I mean, 5.7's light to begin with, but the gas operated thing, that's fucking impressive. As far as the recoil standpoint goes. It's very cool. Just shooting quick groups at 7 yards because I lifted heavy. My shoulder's been bothering me, so I'm just trying to warm up a little bit. Very cool. Let's take a look at that group.
On our treacherous ice island.
That last one I opened up a little bit, dropped it down. That's my trigger control. Should we see if the mighty 5.7 will spin some plates?
Sure.
Maybe if I shot it 16 times. Sure can hit them quick though.
Yeah.
Because it's gas operated, you can use it as a hand warmer, which I like a lot. So right now I'm just using the gas port and gas system to warm my hands.
Good.
Might not be the best gun safety, but it's a free hand warmer.
Good for when you run out of hot hands.
Yeah, that's right. All right, I want to do a little pinpoint accuracy at distance here. So we're at about 35 yards, and I'm going to try to shoot those 6-inch plates. Nope. Got one. Got one. I think I got them all except for that one that's sitting sideways. I don't think I can get him from here.
It's a very quiet round when it hits.
Yeah, it is. Nice. Yeah, it's easy to shoot. It's real easy to shoot. See if we can do 35 yards. with the left hand. Well, we got one. I'll take one considering how sore I am.
Okay.
All right, now we're at 50. Well, that is just a little, hear the echoing?
Uh-huh.
That's pretty cool.
It is cool.
All right, 50-yard left-handed. There we go. Took 4, but scared him the first 3 times. I was giving him 3 warning shots.
It did.
All right, so now we're standing here at the 75-yard mark, and I got to admit, it's a little dreary outside today, and I'm having a hard time discerning between those targets. So this should be a good time. I'll shoot where I think they might be.
Okay.
Nice thing about having the fail barrel down there is that even when I can't see the target, I know the target's to the right of the fail barrel. So I just shoot to the right of the fail barrel. All right, we got a mag, looks like it's got like 5 rounds in it. We'll try her at 100 here. 5.7 is pretty flat round, so it's fun to shoot at 100 yards. The downside to 5.7 is now that we're on our 5th mag, I have to take out a mortgage because we've shot $10,000 worth of ammo. No, I'm kidding. 5.7 is expensive by comparison to some of the other some of the other calibers in its category, but it's a fucking fun round to shoot.
Got it.
I'm having a hard time hearing that.
I know, it's really quiet, but you got both of them. Got that. Good.
That's 5 for 5 at 100 yards.
Yep.
Should we move back? 5 for 5 at 100 yards.
You want to move back, so let's do her.
You know I always want to move back.
Yep. Okay.
I gotta get trees in my way.
Okay.
All right, so about, I don't know, 115.
Got it.
I was shooting over it, shooting high. I always air too far.
Got it.
Man, I'm having a super hard time seeing that target from here.
Got it. Hit. Got it.
There we go. I'm keeping that last one. You know what? I'm gonna do 2 more, just because I can see the stand. So if I put my dot a little above the stand of the target.
You did get it.
Woo! I like this. Well, you're at like 20 yards, and that was all hits, and that was all fast.
This is so fun.
I thought you would, so I put your dot on there. My wife likes the Hollow Sun circle dot reticle. It's kind of like the EOTech reticle. And I have that on there because I assumed that that would be a gun you would like. Full size, really good trigger, right? Like really good.
So good, so flat shooting, 0 recoil. We got to figure out how I can carry this.
Well, how you carry it's with a big holster. It's a big guy. It's light, but it's a big guy.
New fave.
You are on. All right, so we're at 25 yards. Wow.
I am so in love with this.
I told you it had very light recoil.
Maybe more than you.
That's rude.
Okay, should we move?
Yeah.
Do a moving one?
I think I'll probably just shoot a little quick. Just do like our home defense drill, kind of 1, 2, 3 kind of thing.
Okay.
Say when.
Help!
There's just no recoil at all. Oh, no, I just triggered. Just froze the trigger. I was shooting the PDP the other night with a Glock recoil spring in a competition, so I've got fucking malfunction PTSD. Every time anything happens, I'm like, shit, tap and rack. Woo! So fast. Stainless steel recoil spring. I forgot to mention the takedown on this is kind of interesting too, and the fact they also have two different models. Mine doesn't have the safety in it because I didn't need that, but you can get one model with the safety on it if you like, especially if you like to ride that, but there's no recoil to really zero out. The other interesting thing about the gun is the takedown actually is kind of similar to like a CZ, where you actually push the slide release out and then disassemble the slide that way. It's a little bit different than the standard M&P, so you are going to have to get in your manual if you want to strip it. So, all right, so first impressions of the M&P 5.7 are a lot better than I thought they would be. No?
Yeah.
I mean, why don't you tell them yours first, since you were even more impressed than I was. The thread protector keeps coming off, but that's expected.
I think it was just a super fun and easy gun to shoot. I don't think I've ever shot the other two versions of it, so I guess I don't have anything to compare it to, but I just had so much fun. I feel like it was, again, flat shooting, no recoil, and it's like a little rifle round, you know what I mean? So
it's like a high-powered 22.
Yeah, so just super fun.
Oh, it's cool. I had a blast myself.
I can see myself plinking with it by myself on the range.
Huh? Go nuts. You know, that's one nice thing about having a gun that's kind of well made out of the box. It just kind of works. We didn't have any malfunctions with it. We shot 150 rounds of 5.7, and we had no problems at all. One, I thought I did for a second when I was shooting quick, but I just froze the trigger. That was just me being dumb, I guess. And just started shooting and it worked just fine. The gas operated system in the gun definitely works to lower the recoil. 5.7 is a low recoil caliber to begin with, but not this low recoil. Compared to the Mark III, for example, or maybe the Ruger, this one definitely has lower recoil, and it's the same weight or lighter. You get a 22+1, you get a stainless steel guide rod, you get a threaded barrel, you get optics ready out of the box, you get steel sights, and you get a pretty banging trigger that I would argue is also better than the other two. The gun felt really well. It's well sprung too. It's easy to rack, which is nice. It's low recoil. It would be another really good option for somebody looking for a full-size gun that maybe has arthritic hands or maybe a smaller statured shooter. This is really easy to not only shoot, but the double stack, double feed mags are pretty easy to load as well. Kind of think AR-15 mags instead of like Glock mags. So they're easier to load, push down, you get a pick rail, you get all the stuff you'd want for a home defense gun. I would say the only downside of this gun is going to be the cost of ammo, and that, as more manufacturers make 5.7, the more 5.7 guns that come out, the lower that ammunition cost is going to be, the more available it's going to be. It has lowered a little over the years, and now I can go to my local Shields and Mr. Guns and I can pick up different types of 5.7, not just one or two, but they got a couple of different boxes there, a couple different price points, so it shows improvement in the price and availability of the round. And that's really the only drawback to this gun. This is my current favorite 5.7 so far. Hopefully we don't have a big fail boat in the full review though, because I'm gonna shoot 1,000 rounds through this for sure, because I want to be sure about this gun before I tell you. That's the hard part about having new guns come out, is that you never know what they're going to be like until you fully vet them. And also, this is a sample size of 1, and this is my opinion. So make sure to pick it up, because it does have kind of an interesting grip as well. That very thin, very wide grip does take a little getting used to, and I did have to change up my shooting grip just a little bit to begin with. But the super cool thing, at least for me, is because it's so long and wide, the trigger reach on the trigger was almost perfect. So that felt very good, and maybe that's one of the reasons why I shot it well. That's one thing you have to remember, is all this is my personal opinion. But for around the $700 price point, same as the Ruger 5.7, I think you get a little bit more with this one so far. I mean, you get an optics ready capability. You don't have these obnoxious, like, super stuck out controls that you really don't need. The grip on the Smith is a lot thinner, and the trigger on the Smith is better as well. You also get the threaded barrel, which is nice if you want to throw a suppressor on or something like that. So far, so good, but we'll have to see how it goes in the future. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. Please help out your local homeless shelters, and remember to recycle. I'll check you later.